News 25 is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, Nevada senators demand an investigation into a Pahrump prison, and the sheriff's office is warning drivers to keep their eyes on the road. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
A private detention center on Mesquite Avenue is facing an investigation. It's Wednesday, January 15th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, state lawmakers are urging a full investigation into a for-profit detention facility located right here in Pahrump after a key employee was allegedly found to be active on neo-Nazi websites.
Nevada Senators Catherine Cortez Masto and Jackie Rosen are urging the Attorney General to conduct an investigation into the CoreCivic Detention Center here in Pahrump. This comes after it was discovered that a senior employee, 31-year-old Captain Travis Fry, was an active neo-Nazi self-described fascist. Fry was reportedly the chief of security at the private detention center on Mesquite Avenue. Vice News reported that they located posts from Fry stating that he was interested in organizing for the Traditionalist Workers' Party, or TWP, in Indiana, where he worked for CoreCivic in 2016 and 2017. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, which tracks extremist groups, the TWP is a neo-Nazi group that advocates for racially pure nations and communities and blames Jews for many of the world's problems. In what appears to be his first post on the website, written August 16, 2013, Fry writes, "We need a return to traditional values and a strong moral culture in order to raise America to greatness. Homosexuality, abortion, transgender rights, and a weak, watered-down, feminized Christianity are the signs of our dying civilization. Multiculturalism, illegal immigration, and the destruction of national identity and sovereignty are eating at the heart of our way of life." The senators say they have questions about the standards to which CoreCivic holds its employees. In the letter written last week to the Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General, they wrote, "It is imperative that any private company contracted with the federal government to operate a detention facility be held to the highest standards of care and management." They add, "It is also critical that transparency and oversight not be hindered because the facility is operated by a private entity through a federal contract." The two senators add that with overwhelming evidence that hate crimes are on the rise in the United States, it is critical for our government to take concrete steps to combat them. Cortez Masto and Rosen also pointed to other issues within the private detention center, including the death of an inmate who was apparently strangled by another inmate and the on-site suicide of an employee. They are asking for an investigation into matters including employee screening and how closely the Pahrump site is monitored for compliance to the terms of its federal contract to ensure vulnerable immigrants are protected while in custody of Department of Homeland Security or DHS contractors. CoreCivic released a statement saying, "We care deeply about our employees, communities, and the individuals in our care, and we do not tolerate discrimination of any kind." The statement went on to say, "We recognize the inherent dignity of the human person and the need to treat every individual with respect. Our company has a detailed human rights policy that clearly outlines our commitments regarding resident rights and treatment. We also have strong commitments to promoting and supporting a diverse and inclusive workforce." Fry was placed on leave pending a review after the news was discovered. For News 25, I'm Brad Francis.
Thanks so much, Brad. Well, now through the 24th, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is joining forces with law enforcement agencies statewide to crack down on distracted driving.
Distracted driving is any activity that diverts your attention away from driving, such as talking, texting on your phone, eating or drinking, talking to people in your vehicle, messing with the entertainment or navigation system, or anything else that takes your attention away from the road. For example, sending or reading a text message takes your eyes off the roadway for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. You cannot drive safely unless the task of driving has your full attention. Any non-driving activity when you're behind the wheel is a potential distraction and increases your risk of crashing. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2017 alone, 3,166 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is urging you to keep your focus on the road and drive safely, always. The Sheriff's Office also participated in a Joining Forces campaign around the holidays focused on impaired driving. Throughout the course of that event, the Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies say that they completed a total of 82 traffic stops, issued 18 citations, 61 warnings, and completed 7 field sobriety tests. 2 arrests were made.
And more news right after this break.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, shares of Delta Airlines are soaring high after the airline reported numbers well above Wall Street expectations. Angela Miles has that story and more in today's Business First Brief.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, Phase 1 of the U.S. trade deal with China is expected to be signed today at the White House. That agreement calls for China to buy nearly $80 billion in agriculture, cars, and aircraft made in America. Delta is on the rise. Shares soared Tuesday after the airline flew well above Wall Street's earnings expectations. Strong travel demand and lower prices on oil are fueling business at Delta. Among hot stocks to watch, Build-A-Bear is getting a huge hug from investors. The company reported strong business during the holidays and plans to sell a Baby Yoda plush toy. Also a stocky grin from Smile Direct Club. The company started with online teeth straighteners that were sent directly to consumers. Well, now it's selling those aligners to dentists and orthodontists.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Well, a summons has been issued for a court to a former county employee. Unette Gentry explains that and more in today's court report.
In this week's court report, a man with ties to California arrested in Pahrump after violating a restraining order against him by stabbing his pregnant girlfriend, now has an active $25,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in Pahrump Justice Court in May. Police say Gary Case II lied to them about the incident by telling officers that his current live-in girlfriend had stabbed herself in the stomach after getting into a verbal disagreement with him. That victim, who was 7 months pregnant, was transported to UMC in Las Vegas via helicopter. Police investigations revealed that victim was the applicant for an extended protection order out of California against Case back in October 2019. During further investigation of this incident, officers discovered a clear plastic bag in Case's pocket containing what tested presumptive positive as 6 grams of methamphetamine. Case was arrested after a records check also revealed that he had 4 active statewide extradition warrants out of Nevada Highway Patrol for various traffic offenses. During Case's formal arraignment, the court advised Case that a public defender will be appointed for him at this time, although Case will not qualify for a public defender once he is employed again. So the defendant will owe public defender fees later. The court is appointing attorney Brent Percival to represent the defendant. The court further informed Case that if he does not retain attorney Percival and continues to use him as a public defender and is employed, he will owe public defender fees at an hourly rate. Case understands. Defense waived the right to a preliminary hearing within 15 days. The court set a pretrial hearing for February, but that date has now been continued to May 14th. And as of Monday, January 13th, Melinda Heinrichs has now been mailed a copy of the summons and the criminal complaint against her. Heinrichs is facing the formal charges of theft, embezzlement, value greater than $3,500, and fraudulently appropriating property by an officer, $650 or greater. This after a criminal complaint was filed in Pahrump Justice Court against her and sent to the District Attorney's Office on January 6th. Heinrichs is accused of stealing more than $100,000 from the Nye County Juvenile Probation Department. The complaint alleges that Heinrichs began stealing funds back in 2014 and continued until September 2019. She is accused of taking payments and deposits entrusted to her, then illegally keeping the money for herself. District Attorney Chris Arabia says, quote, "We take these kinds of charges especially seriously because not only do you have corruption, but also a violation against the public by a person in a position of public trust." Arabia continues, saying that the people of Nye County can rest assured that we will continue working on this case. Heinrichs is scheduled for arraignment February 24th. This has been your court report. I'm Unette Gentry for News 25.
And luckily, no one was seriously injured during a recent crash off Basin Avenue.
Medics checked out one occupant on scene Friday night on Hamahawaka Street right off Basin Avenue at the scene of a single vehicle accident. Police say that the car went off the roadway and hit the curb. This caused the airbag to deploy. Medics received an initial report saying that the individual was complaining of pain from his head. He declined to be transported to local medical facilities. The sedan sustained moderate damage to the front end.
All right, we'll have more news on the other side of this break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, grocery shopping for your family has never been more complicated. With labels screaming low calorie, low sugar, and reduced fat, how can you really know what's in the food you're buying? Deanna Schnee is a dietitian at Cleveland Children's Clinic. She says it's important to read between the lines on the label.
If they're buying even foods that are labeled like low sugar or reduced sugar, there's actually a high chance that those foods do have these non-nutritive sweeteners added. So it's not just that they took the amount of table sugar that was in that product and reduced it. They've actually added either an artificial sweetener or some other type of non-nutritive sweetener to still keep this food tasting very sweet.
A recent study looks at non-nutritive sweeteners and finds not only are more kids consuming additives than ever before, but they're also consuming them in larger quantities. Schnee says a non-nutritive sweetener is essentially high-intensity sweetener with little calorie value. And while research is still unclear on whether these sugar replacement sweeteners are good or bad for your health, the bottom line is we still don't know how much is in our food. Food companies are not legally required to disclose how much they're adding to food products. Schnee says one common misconception is that replacing sugar with non-nutritive sweeteners will get kids to eat fewer sweet foods. However, she says the low-calorie sweets taste just as sweet as the ones with real sugar. And when kids eat things that are super sweet, they can develop a taste for very sweet things. To take the guesswork out of label reading, Schnee suggests parents opt for whole, natural foods as much as possible.
I always say choose real food. So choose food in its closest to its natural form. So for example, instead of orange juice, choose oranges. So things that come and exist naturally in nature.
Schnee also advises parents to pay close attention to food ingredient labels. You should be able to easily pronounce and recognize ingredients. If you can't, chances are the ingredient is a chemical and highly manufactured.
Well, a dog that was found recently in Death Valley is now under medical care at our local shelter for a painful skin infection. But this beautiful dog is now up for adoption as well and looking for a loving home.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Butch. He is a pit bull bulldog mix. He is all white and black, He's gorgeous. He has such a friendly little personality. He's really short and stocky and really, really buff looking. Butch was found near the California state line off of Bella Vista. So we weren't sure if he was dumped out there or if he just happened to get that far away from his home. He does currently have a skin infection, so he's receiving baths every 3 days. And he's also getting some ointment and spray applied to him 2 times a day right now. So whoever would like to adopt him, they will be continuing on with his medications right now until his skin infection does clear. He also has some infections on his little feet right now, so it's a little painful for him to walk around. He's a super sweet dog, incredibly friendly, just a gorgeous little one. He has a little white face and a black body and a white chest. Super duper cute. Definitely come down to Desert Haven Animal Society and spend some time with him out here in the yard. They're on Ceres Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, well, there's been some great temperatures, I got to say, during the middle of the day. Let's see what it looked like outside earlier. Beautiful sky. We are going to see what is in our forecast right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas and Amargosa, we had a high of 58 degrees, low of 39 in Las Vegas, 31 for the low in Amargosa, 66 a low of 42 in Death Valley, 56-29 in Beatty, 45-21 in Goldfield, 44-24 in Tonopah, 48 for the high in Carson City and Fallon, 37 for the low in Carson City, 29 for the low in Fallon, and up in Fernley, their high of 45 and a low of 29 degrees. Now today in Pahrump, we saw mostly sunny skies. Our high today was 58 degrees, winds coming out of the south at 5 miles per hour, 31% for our humidity, and our sunrise at 6:54 this morning. Now for tonight, we're going to see some more clouds tonight with some partly cloudy skies. 38 degrees for our low. It's 57 outside currently. Winds coming out of the east-southeast at 6 miles per hour, 46% for our humidity, and our sunset at 4:52 tonight. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, tomorrow we are going to see some high winds out of the south-southeast up to 18 miles per hour, so we do have a wind advisory for tomorrow. And from Friday all through next Wednesday, we're pretty much going to be seeing nothing but clouds for that stretch of the week. Temperature-wise, on Thursday, we're going to be seeing a high of 63 degrees, 54 and 58 on Friday and Saturday. Then from Sunday through next Wednesday, we're going to be in those mid-60s, just around 63 and 64 degrees by next Wednesday. For overnights, from Thursday through Saturday, we're going to be seeing those temperatures in those mid-30s, just between 34 and 37 degrees, up to 41 degrees on Sunday and Monday, 40 degrees on Tuesday, and then back down just a little bit to a low of 39 by next Wednesday. So now with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna.
All right, thanks so much, Michael. Well, we want to let everyone know that we have a deal right now with Community Dish to hook up your TV, and you can do that free of charge. Community Dish is offering a free antenna. Those are those digital antennas, and they'll come out to your house and hook it up for you. You just need to give us a call here at KPVM-TV. That's 775-727-9400, and we will make sure to give that information to Community Dish. They will call you to make an appointment to go out there and make sure that you're hooked up to local TV, and that means that you can still have your satellite. If you have Dish, if you have DirecTV, and you want to get KPVM-TV and all of the Vegas stations free of charge, all you need to do is give us a call, 775-727-9400, leave your name and number, and we'll make sure that somebody comes out and hooks you up. And of course, there is a social services fair tomorrow from 9 until 2 p.m. at Nye Communities Coalition, and that is offering all sorts of resources here in Pahrump. Everyone's invited to come on by. They're at 1020 East Wilson Road, right there on the corner of West and Wilson, right in the Nye the NAC Center, which is the event center that they have there on that campus. Once again, that is tomorrow, January 16th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. a social services fair. Come on by and see what's going on. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell from all of us here at KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.